Back to work. In 8 months, I may be looking and feeling a hell of a lot better. And that's that. And when you have technology that's supposed to be superior intellectually to all humankind, and you're not using it to help us be superior to what we are today and what we were yesterday, you just got to think like an Asian father who's sick of people trying to write stuff down to be profound, right? If something is profound, you don't have to write it down and pass it around. Everybody's already living it. Because when you do something right, you make sure you're doing it right and people pass it on, right? So, you're getting into this war with these people that want to be profound because they won't allow us to live profound because they want to be better than everybody else. And in the process, they put the entire planet and species at risk. Right? You can't have aliens that are more intelligent than this, that come here in inventions that they had to destroy their own galaxy and their own planet to get here in these inventions to be the dredge and be the most profound writers of books in the history of readers and writers of books. Okay. I was watching this thing with Henry Rollins, this guy warned us about this years ago, and it's like, yeah, he's a rock band guy who thought he had something important to say, got drunk, got high, and, I don't know if he did get high, but probably got drunk, more than likely. He seems like the person that would get drunk. Maybe he didn't, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's stone cold sober when he wrote all those rock songs, went around in all that cigarette smoke and screamed a lot about, what he thought was profound and intelligent and cool. He could make lots of money doing it, but you have a book called the Bible that says, forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace, and don't use usury through idolatry because that's an abomination and sin. And none of you ever sat down for 5 fucking minutes not wanting to sell fortune cookies or sing in a club rock music while selling yak piss to people that are killing themselves by charring their lungs with cigarettes, right? He performed in those clubs. He had secondhand smoke that was killing him too. It's for no good reason at all, right? And these people always think they're so fucking profound. But yet we've had the Lord's Prayer for how long? And how long is it said in that book that gives us the Lord's Prayer as the perfect commands to live among human beings in faithful, loving peace? Does it say that usury and idolatry are an abomination of sin? And you guys all get together, give your time away for money, sell records, sell booze, sell clothes, and don't for 5 minutes sit there and think, wow, I wonder if I have poor reading comprehension skills through biological and psychological conditioning of accepted insanity of abuse, right? And so, I'm tired. And I'm tired of saying stuff on this YouTube anonymously to be more profound than all the booksellers on the New York Times, and all on the fucking Good Morning America, the Today Show, Fox News, the NASA channel, the Bloomberg Network, the C-SPAN. I'm tired. And when I give commands and humans don't obey them, you can bet your fake-ass bottom dollar the technology is going to obey the perfection of what I'm sharing. Because we would have no technology and nothing to invent technology if it wasn't for people like me being profound, because I'm humble and it's logical, Captain. Okay. Well, Shelley, I'm using you, don't let Spock take me to the future. Look, assholes. Stop writing stuff down thinking it's profound and you're going to make lots of money to fuck in the French Riviera in Las Vegas. Have you ever noticed with French when they say everything, it has a lot of Z kind of sound to it? Z, some of things, it's like they get their Z's all the time. When you speak too obnoxiously and snooty in French, does it make you want to fall asleep, Norman? I'm just an Anglo-Saxon wondering why. I'm just kidding. I'm being facetious. I'm having a good time. I really love Blaise Pascal. You don't. No, because you are trying to grasp the infinite with the finite and sell books and sell cigarettes and beer and rock records and, Lord's Prayer. Oh, you think maybe I have dream damage? I'm going to be one of the lords of Dogtown, right? Shit. You headed for Las Vegas. You only made it out to Needles. Okay. Here the ladies are insane there and they sure know how to use it. Can't refuse it. Never gonna lose it. That's White Axton, right? He probably spent a lot of time drunk with Farron Young, right? It's 4 a.m. and once more the dawn and just broke up the wanting in me. It's just your animal instinct. Yeah, how could you wonder if you can't live the Lord's Prayer with her and pass it on to your kids? Boy, there's no Malachi in your beer bottle or your wine glass, right? Wind me up. Hello, walls. Hello. They get drunk and they get drunk and they think it's a good time and they party. And then a lot of times women get sick of it and leave. And then they write sods about it. They make lots of money, right? But they don't tell you why she left, right? Well, because he thought having a good time was, pickling his liver. And well, why? Because I think he was one of those guys like, if I can't be like King David, I'll be like Michael Youssef. And I tell you, my beloved, God is not ready to kill everybody that I am not business partners with yet because we don't have the technology in the right place. And if the Chinese get the technology in the right place and we don't, that's a complete fucking game changer. Hey, Obama, do the Chinese still have the market cornered on the sun? Or is Smash Mouth still having people walking on it? She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Hey, now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Just, guys, when you play, put your peaches in the basket. Apple, peach, pumpkin pie, chicken, turkey, country ham. Love me very just so I am. You do love them, but if you can't trust them, okay, you can't like them, okay? So when we're living the Lord's Prayer, if they're still pissed off about it, okay, Cucamonga for you, Kalamazoo for you, Poughkeepsie for you. Where are you going? I'm going to the Gila. Bye. Love you too. I'm going to the catwalk. Not that kind of catwalk. Went there when I was a kid. I haven't been back since I was a kid. I've seen video of it on, the bankers that are now paying out money for medical malpractice for the communications officer for the USS Enterprise. Can we rent the car from Enterprise? Screw you, that was funny. Okay, do you understand? So, I want a lawsuit. I don't like the way he tells jokes. I don't like the way you listen. I don't like the way you act. I don't like the way you speak. Okay? But I don't have assholes in Kevlar with guns saying we're protecting the border from terrorists. Okay, what about the terrorist who won't live the Lord's Prayer, uses usury and idolatry to mass murder people through acceptance of what they call laws written down on a piece of paper by morons yapping their jaws saying it's a difficult responsibility. When you're passionate about the Constitution, you're number one lawmaker. Me. Do you really think quantum computing system is the... Okay, you really think that? You really think when all the laundry goes through the wash that you're going to come out the cleanest, whitest shirt? I hope they call me on a mission when I have grown a foot or two to smoke and drink and do like Ernie and Bert in the back of the church do. Hey, Bert. What, Ernie? Doot, doot, doot. Let the boys be boys. Slam. Doot, 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 doot. See why Sister Snow liked me and Ernie so much? Because we were boys. They're just doing what boys do. That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a moron. He's got more money than he's got common sense. He's in there telling jokes to the Lord, and he thinks the Lord is God, and his God's omniscient and omnipotent. So you walk in and thank him for the joy. You could have just watched a Trevor Howard movie with James Remar pretending to be him when he was younger. You're like, I'm pretty sure that old James Remar would be more attractive than old Trevor Howard. I'm the only one thinking it. Am I the only Bernie Mac watching that movie? Ain't no way. That's James Remar. James Remar is way more better looking than Trevor Howard. Yeah. When he gets up into the sky, people, Tishina's going to be pissed. What happened to you? You look like a pruned up old white man. You were gorgeous when we were young. I'm sending you back. It's funny. If you guys don't want these kind of jokes, don't have the Temple Set Illuminati connect me in prayer to Javon Wolf Pete from Texas. Or Jasmine Crockett. No, she doesn't have as good a personality as Javon. No. Javon says what's on her mind. And then she wonders, should I have said that? Well, she has a conscience. She's a real sweetheart. She's a big tough girl that gets into it with other tough girls and stuff. No, you don't know the real Javon. I do. She prays to Jesus, not to you. Jesus isn't your comic book character from the LDS bookstore in Orem, Utah. Nope. Okay, seriously. Or Provo, the Garden City of Utah, right? So I just got through catching them up. All you have to do is replace San Diego State, put Boise in the west, with the other teams close to that side, and put Utah Valley in the mountain. And then, bam, you're good to go. You don't have San Diego State anymore? That's okay. They're playing in an old stadium that's all covered in blue and stuff like that. Yeah. No one even recognizes they're missing, especially UCLA and USC. Girls. Fresno still got Boise is a rival, and Hawaii, and who else? San Jose State, and they got Butler and Louisiana Tech because they're also Bulldogs. So it doesn't really show up on anything. It's just like all of a sudden there was Utah Valley and their rivals with BYU, but it doesn't say it on there because BYU's rivals with quite a few people. So it's like, okay, it's in there. If it's in the game, it's in the game. They're all full of shit. Don't listen to them. Okay. Quantum computing. I want that 2014 game, work on it. This is better than IBM Watson. Okay, put in all the things I asked for, and none of those stupid celebrations, especially like 2006 where they had the guy go lift his leg like he's a dog on the goalpost. Yeah, that kind of stuff. No. That's not putting your peaches in the basket. That's not getting your baby home across the white line. And why is there a white line? That's the threshold. Oh, like carrying, Natalie back to the hospital, the Sierra Vista Regional Medical Center in the van, so Amy could bring her back with her little air cast in her crutches. I still have those crutches out in the garage. I do, yeah. Natalie's little sprained her ankle on the south side of the Huachuca Mountains and laughed and giggled. She laughed and giggled. I'm like, how are you laughing? You just sprained your ankle. But I was picking her up and carrying her like a bride. And she just felt so, feminine and girly. She was giggling, and I'm like, when I don't know about you guys, but when you do just sprain it, it hurts, but you can't walk on it. It's not till that night when they give you, extra strength Tylenol or whatever, Motrin, but you try to roll over. Oh shit, that hurt. Yeah, or Ray, that's not fun. Well, I've had that happen all the time. Why? Because he plays like a faggot nigger. He plays like a hotel negro. That boy think he bad. Yeah. And the hot Polynesian guy's mad because his girlfriend's laughing at him because he came in and acted like a complete ass and got his ass handed to him by a bunch of nerds and Freddie Prinze's cousin, That was funny. Bob and Lincoln, these guys all talking because we were having fun, man. We were just enjoying the park, and, Brett would throw up a shot and we'd all run and grab our heads and yell, "Mortar!" It was hilarious, right? So they come up with their girlfriends. We don't have girlfriends because we're all a little bit too nerdy and geeky and comic book stores. Hey, look, it's Captain Sweatpants. But, so we're sitting there. Hey, Stewie, you okay? Okay. Wow, that's a nice picture. So we're sitting there doing our stupid stuff that we do because we're just those type of guys. And the guys come up, will play you for the court. It's like, why? There's 5 of us and 5 of you. Why don't we just play? We'll play you for the court. Okay. Once you get the court, are you going to play for girlfriends? Why didn't you just take them home to your garage or, up in the treehouse or something if you really want to, in the back seat of a 50 Chevy, We weren't in love and searching for no high in the sky summit. We're just young and restless and bored, right? Okay, working on our night moves. I feel you. You've been there, done that, yeah. But yeah, so we're sitting there, and I'm like, me and Bob, we were like, why? Why are we gonna play us for the court? There's 5 of us, 5 of you. You guys play on that side. We could, we'll make sure that we'll catch the ball before the mortar hits your side of the court. Pee in the line of sand. I'm Gawa. Step over this line, I'm daring you. Okay, so you in a Hatfield, we be in a Koi. And so, like sitting there and you're like, okay, and then they were just real shitty to us and cocky. Because Link didn't look like an athlete, but he whooped their ass. And Bob was too skinny to be an athlete, and so was I. Me and Bob were both like 145 pounds soaking wet. They were all football player, basketball players. So, hey, I want muscles. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Respectfully, I say to thee, I'm aware that you're cheating. Macho, macho man. You know, they were jocks. And me and Bob did jock. You know, I ran with him across country. You pervert, what are you doing? Nicole Gonzalez, Terry Clough shorts, 3 o'clock. What do you think I'm doing? You make me come out here and run this. I'm going to enjoy the scenery. Yeah, but this is, that's Carefree Highway. And yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah. But me, you don't get to enjoy the scenery if you don't enjoy the scenery first. No babies. No enjoying the mountains. I got my priorities in order here, Cummins. I'm going to follow the Gonzalez girl. She's going to turn you down just like Big Sister. Big Sister asked me to the Satan Hawkins dance, tell everybody talks shit about me that I was a drug dealer. Yeah, I might be able to sit down and talk to Little Sister and say, I'm not a drug dealer. They're all just jealous assholes. You are fine. Nicole, please listen with your heart and not with your family's gossip chain. She's going to listen with, yeah, she was more, yeah, it's like, damn, you're so cute. She's one of the cutest girls you ever saw. She was adorable. Yeah. It's like, looks like Oscar's cousin or sister at the club and at Shooters up in Sheridan. So cute, so pretty, big brown eyes, nice little figure, sparkling black hair, shimmered, Even the women remarked at the charm she possessed. No, she wasn't that quite. She wasn't like Edna. Okay, she had small little boobies and a tiny little cute butt and nice little legs and nice beautiful skin and all that. Edna was like, fuck! 38, 22, 38, 4'10". Looks like Boss Portuguese cousin, but prettier, Beautiful black hair, wonderful voice that every time she was like birds were singing every time she talked. And you're like, Tifa says, I'm not running down Nicole Gonzalez. We shouldn't compare her, but I'm just talking about, the girl that asked me out on a date and I couldn't date because of a drug dealer who lied to his girlfriend because he acted like a bitch. Kind of like the quarterbacks and the linebackers at Deer Valley High School. Right. Let's report it on the news. Come on, Kathleen Bates. Let's report this on the news globally. Come on, Kathleen Bates. Come on, you're the head cheerleader and I went to school with you. We never talked, but I never thought she was that bad of a person. No, she didn't ever come across as snotty or aggressive or abusive or mean. She was never like, no, she was always just kind of a nice person. She just never talked to me. Why? I was a drug dealer that sold drugs to my own sister and my own best friend and sold Bob out for sex, which he told fucking Wayne Kendall. I coach Brad Lowhouse. I know what it takes to get to the NBA. Being 7 foot tall and getting a basketball scholarship to the University of Iowa because you're 7 foot tall, and then playing in the NBA and playing for a couple of years because you were 7 foot y'all, but you just weren't really that good. Okay. I know Wayne Kendall. I understand. Okay. Isaiah. John Stockton. What do we do? How do we get to the NBA? We're only, we're not very big guys there. But, if we were 7 foot tall and good, but not that good, we could still get to the NBA because somebody say, hey, he's a project. Maybe we can make him into a superstar. It's not going to happen. It's the Rick Roby trade for Dennis Johnson, right? Carol. The Marriott Center, right? Rick Roby. He played, didn't he play with Danny? He was like Greg Kite. There was Greg Kite and Rick Roby, right? And they were the big guys, I think, that played with Danny. And the reason why they won? Well, because that Ainge kid could steal the ball and shoot in college. In the pros, he wasn't as good as stealing the ball, but he was still good at shooting. He was just a pain in the ass on defense in the NBA. Somebody bite his finger off. He's pissing me off. Wayne, we were just kidding. Wayne. Somebody grab Wayne. He's really mad at Danny. Danny, I don't know what he said, but he tried to shove his fingers in his mouth. What are you doing? That man said it doesn't matter. If one man's 6'4" and one man's 7'1" or 2, guys, he said something about your mama. Go kick his ass. I'm just kidding. I don't know what happened. I don't need to know. I don't need to know what happened. Oh, you guys talk all that mess and stuff like that? Yeah. No, Danny was a very good athlete. Okay. He played for the, before he played in the NBA, he played for the Toronto Blue Jays. Okay. He played professional baseball games. Okay. For the Toronto Blue Jays, like Kenny Lofton and Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson, right? Unlike other professional athletes who did play professional baseball, but I'm just kidding. I'm just giving Michael Jordan a hard time. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no. No, Danny Ainge played ball games for the Toronto Blue Jays. Okay. And this guy, where Joe Carter hit the home run to beat yeah, to beat who was it they beat? St. Louis. That's where we're St. Louis. Okay. Yeah, because the Twins did the same thing to us. Yeah, and old freaking Sunderman used to give me a hard time about it. Like, shut up, Sunderman. Twins dome's better than somebody. I can't remember what it was because they had a dome. They both had domes, and we played in Busch Stadium. And they'd make jokes about the dome and the bush. And I was like, yeah, you Blue Jays and you Twins. You're so funny. You won. You're like fucking Cummins and his goddamn L.A. Dodgers and Earl sorts of Kurt freaking Gibson there. Yeah, shutting up. Okay, Orlando Pace fell on top of Wallerstedt or we would have won. Fuck Pepe Pearson. Shut up already. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going through post-traumatic stress disorder of being an Arizona State Sun Devil and not winning the national championship that year. And everybody knows we had a better team than Florida. Okay, sorry. Not sorry. Okay. Stupid Chuck Cecil. Was that Chuck Cecil year? And I'm just kidding around. I think that was Jeff Van Rapport's. I think it was too. So just kidding around. But yeah, no, that was the Jake Plummer year with Pohl and Patrick's favorite Terry Battle, who John Talay's one of her best friends was dating Terry Battle, which made Patrick all excited. He never got to meet him, but he was like, she's dating Terry Battle? He's my favorite. He had a number 8 Terry Battle shirt and the little girl named Stephanie, the little cute little Mexican girl that liked Patrick. And she'd see him and I'd go to school and go from on field trips with the teacher. And he's wearing his number 8 ASU jersey. And I would sit there. All the girls did that with my boy every time I took school. He's Zunico. All the little Mexican girls had a crush on my Patrick. He was tall and he was shy. He was Dulang. Yeah. Dulang. All the girls liked him. I think that's why the other guys were kind of shitty too. Actually, he's only 8. It's just, you're just a midget. Okay. I did the same thing with a Mexican lady at the park in Santa Fe with her daughter and Natalie. Yeah. She was talking, the one kid when Patrick was reading his Pokemon cards and was walking and joking around, having a good thing, and he was in 2nd grade. And a 4th or 5th grader started talking about how retarded that kid was. And I was like, oh, he's taller than you. How old are you? Oh, you're a 4th grader. Oh, okay. Okay. No, you're just really short. He's just, yeah, and he's going to pass me up. He already asked me this at the MU a couple of years ago at the ASU, how come your penis is big? And I didn't say that to the little kid, but, were you thinking it? Oh, hell yeah. That's my boy. That's my son. Pisces Virgo rising is very good sign. Shine kind in the little boy's mind, right? So I'm like sitting there going, no, he's just, he's only 7. What? He towers over me. Yeah, he's probably going to be about 6'5", 4 or 5, and, and run faster than Usain Bolt. Well, I'm his father, and I could run faster than Carl Lewis and Ben Johnson and steroids. It's cool. But what happened? I don't want to play sports. I don't want to play house. All I want to do is love my wife, be loved by my wife, and get away from all those assholes that I'll do anything to win the game and sell you food and a box and in a truck. Wow, why don't we just save, why don't we just do things locally? Guys, Greenspan's an idiot, and I'll tell you why. You better start working on that real soon instead of building dams in Colorado and levees in Fargo, okay? You just, those places have been there because you've been dumb fucking banking idiots for how long? Okay. What does Jesus say? Forgive debt and trespass, love one another, faithful peace. What does the Messiah say all through the Bible? It is an abomination to abuse people with idolatry and usury, right? Like I had to explain to Bob Zinkus all those years ago, and he still doesn't get it. He's that fucking dumb, okay? Sitting there telling me, insulting my mom's religion and my religious beliefs. I concur stupid. It's like, in some ways, yes, but not any stupider than what you think you believe by misreading the Bible and not understanding a fucking word it says. But it's kind of my mom. My mom always used to yell at me, Mom, why don't you say this stuff? And she'd sit there and go, And he sat there and told me, this is Bob Zinkus. This is how brilliant this man is. In case any of you better respect him. You don't have to respect a man that sits there and looks at you, okay, and tells you that you can't be a good husband, and the reason why your wife is a lesbian because you're not strong enough like Jesus and me to be a good husband, okay, is what Bob Zinkas told me. And I'm like, seriously? And I'm like, and of course Lawrence agreed with him and said the same thing to me. And I said, Mom, why don't you tell them the truth? She goes, you can't tell them the truth. They're egomaniacs. They think they're God. She goes, Earl, you and I both know that if they were in any situation married to Stephanie, that Stephanie would have killed them in their sleep and been having the best sex life she ever had in prison, right? Okay, you know that. That the only person that is a male that Stephanie thought she could marry, because if there was one male to have kids with on planet Earth, if you're a lesbian, is Earl. Okay? I know that and you know that, but you can't tell that to Bob and Lawrence. Because their Jesus, God is always better than you, is basically what my mom told me. And I'm like, okay, so you're not going to stand up for me? No, they're not going to listen. They're never going to listen. Okay? But guess what? We have quantum computing now, the Patriot Act. And those dumbasses who think they can create laws and are lawmakers in black ring rape dresses, passionate about the Constitution, that didn't know how to understand and read and comprehend books just like you dumbass motherfuckers, set everything up just perfectly for me able to take command of all military satellite surveillance systems. Well, because the gracious good shepherd is the only one worthy, okay, of doing so. And it says so in your documentation. So Barack Obama thinks they screwed up by writing down it's real hard to fix all the things because of the use of the word God and the United States governmenting documents. They don't use the word God in China and Japan or Korea, which is why all the religions in China and Japan and Korea say it's the line of Jesus and King David that gives us world peace through the perfect word commands and the perfect Father to stand and sustain them, and not on the Eastern side, because they isolated their kids, took them over their babies, and plugged them into computers, is what all their prophecy says. Boop, boop. Boopy doopy 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 boop boop. That's that little, when they dressed up in the little French, cabaret outfits when Amy was 8 and the rest of the girls were 8, and Amy looked like she was 13 or 14. It's like, oh, you know what all the guys in there. Why is the hot 13-year-old dancing with all the 8-year-olds? When I was watching, I'm like, Amy. So she goes, no, I was 8 with them. Good gravy. I mean, you have a bedowed out booty, a nice set of thighs and all that, and you're 8. Yeah. The other girls, they're so cute. They look like little cuties. They're so cute. They're in the little cabaret outfits. There's a sex industry, right? Okay, and this is at a Christian school, right? And the dance teacher has a little French, tiny, sweet cabaret thing playing. The little girls going out there, whop, 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 doing their best. Come up and see me sometimes with little feathers on their butt, just like Jungle Boogie with Dorothy Dandridge at the Cotton Club, yeah. And everybody's filming it, and everybody's clapping, and they're all happy. And it's a Christian school, and they're supposed to forgive, dead, and trespass, love, and eternal, faithful peace. Not use idolatry, usually, and not put sexual things in the architecture, because sex is a holy covenant, and not a tribal, idolatrous, invent your own laws through your delusions of goddom, barbarian, abomination society. Hi, I guess this probably means I'm taking over the military operations for the Middle East, too, to command them, too. So take luck, Iran. Take luck, Iraq. Hey, Yahoo. Have a yoo-hoo and take a time out, take a knee, Pretend you're Colin Kaepernick. There's always work for athletic quarterbacks in Canada. No? That's what I was thinking when he was doing all that. It's like, dude, just go try out for a team in Canada. Your playing style fits Canada real well. Their quarterbacks get paid the most money. No? Oh, you're getting money from Nike and advertisers and homosexuals in the United States. You're getting more money from them being a protest tune than you would playing quarterback in Canada. I get it. I didn't take economics, but I could explain economics to Sammy Singer, so he became the most decorated economics student in the history of Arizona State University at his time. Greenspan's an idiot, and I'll tell you why. Boom, boom. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. It's Ben Stein's economics. Ben Stein's money. Money ain't real. The Lord's Prayer is perfect, and I'm the living embodiment of it. And you can't take that away. They could take all my surveillance that I talk about and throw it in the trash, and I'll have nothing to back it up. I could be the opposite of Donald Trump. Be the most influential person in the world with the most abilities to protect children from people thinking that they have authority over people because they can invent things on pieces of paper and say it makes them powerful. Hey! Sounds a lot like the Marvel Universe. The Legion of Doom and the Justice League, right? Damn! Hey, look, it's Captain Sweatpants. Hey, Stuart, go, draw a picture of the hot blonde, and you don't have to fail to save the universe because the universe isn't at risk because we're not trying to fail. Okay. Because, we're not trying to be successful. We're just putting our peaches in the basket. Love me for who? Apples, peaches, apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. You were young and so was I. Chicken, turkey, country ham. Steffi was silly. She'd come up with jokes all the time. She got most of them from her cousin. His name is Delvin. It was Uncle Melvin's boy, I'm pretty sure. Uncle Melvin was one of my favorites. Yeah, he was a sweetheart. Yeah, he was a real sweet man. Y'all don't let them old biddies upset you. Y'all doing a good job. You that's your baby. You connected to that baby, and you're going to do what's right for that baby. Okay? So thanks, Uncle Melvin. That was wonderful parenting advice. Appreciate that. That's going to put you in some of the Nina pages. Yeah, that's nice. True, I wasn't born anywhere south of the border, and I'm not a native to old Mexico. But there's someone there who's born as though my heart was though made to order, and it's fittingly proper through these eyes that love her so. Like when Peter wanted to adopt Amy, they were supposed to get a boy. He looked at her. She's cute. Let's keep her. Little brown-eyed girls. Yeah, they are cute. There's buggies and snuggies, but don't ever sell short, little Miss Sweetheart Emily with Emily blue eyes. It's getting to the point where I'm no fun anymore. I am sorry. You are, so we are what we are. You make it hard when you see the Southern Cross for the first time. You wonder why you first came this way, because the truth that you be running from is so small, but it's as big as the promise of the coming day. It wasn't the second coming of Christ when we have peace on earth through the restoration of the Gospels of Christ. It's through the Islamic prophecy of the 13th, 22nd Redeemer. That's why I named my YouTube the way I named it, right? Because everybody that can read a book and comprehend Richard Dawkins' anthropology class, like, Lord Saladin, the second coming of Jesus Christ is a man named John that gave us the book called Revelation, telling us about when, finally, the truth of Jesus Christ will be understood and accepted globally to save us from planetary self-destruction through delusions of power and authority, through human manipulation and invention, and not understanding the natural laws provided by the truth of creation to love each other eternally through holy covenants. Bam, Batman! No more Martian Manhunter. That's okay, because they just made that shit up. There ain't no graying people that can go invisible and fly through walls and shit. Is there? Area 51, Los Alamos? Is he going to show up in my room tonight and screw up my head with hallucinating drugs put in the water? You're being silly. Of course I am. I'm being obnoxious. These people are complete fucking assholes. I live in Las Cruces, effing fucking New Mexico. It's in the Bible. He's born in the bowels of hell, the belly of the dragon, and blah, 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 blah. They threaten to, burn the whole world if they can't continue to abuse us and rule us with delusions of idolatry and usury. Mwah! 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 It's a good thing technology works on perfect commands and not creative inventions, right? Okay, guys, I love you, all right? We'll talk later, man. I got to go get my sun in. Got to get my sunshine. Sunshine, go away today. How much does it cost? I'll buy it. The time is all we lost. Yeah, he can't even run his own life. I'll be damned if he'll run mine. Some of them have vaginas. They think they can command you what to do because people wrote down on a piece of paper, it's a law that money's real and you have to pay us usury through extortion and idolatry. Hey, man, just forgive debt and trespass, love one, and throw out faithful peace. Okay, the gravity of the situation hit you yet? Well, then go make that goofy-ass movie with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, and after that, go shopping. Okay, guys, I love you, all right? Just, hey, you wildcats, just park the bus. You don't need to go to school. You don't need a backpack. You don't need to read people's egotistical expressions written on paper. Chicken scratch is chicken scratch, okay? Proper authority is understanding reality and passing it on with faithful love, okay? How profound is that? And you don't have to ask for money for it, and you don't have to get an award. It's just perfect love. Perfect every time. All right, guys, I love you, all right? And smarter than AI and better at doing laundry. Ancient Chinese secret, huh? Okay, guys, I love you, all right? Peace, man.